Does pausing campaigns and lowering budgets affect the organic ranking of a product? If yes, does not seem working for the long term because gradually we will lose our ranking and sales will be coming down every day. What are your thoughts on this? This is a comment that one of my YouTube subscribers put on my recent video. And the reason I wanted to address this comment is because it's an extremely common question that I get when implementing this strategy, working with 7- and 8-figure sellers. Also, Robert says that's exactly the problem with this kind of approach. You need to keep always monitoring rankings in BSR. You might be making more margin in the short term, but it might kill sales 3 to 6 months, your rankings and organic sales. So I want to go through my observations of testing this and whether or not it does what these people are saying. Like, will it, I'm going to answer the questions one by one. So first off, does pausing the campaign and lowering the budget affect the organic ranking of a product? Okay, sales will become one of my thoughts on this. Okay, so let's go through it. First off, I have actually scaled an Amazon brand from less than $1 million a year to $75 million a year over about 5 years, and we capped the account pretty much the whole time we worked together. So, is it going to kill sales and, affect the organic rank to where, it kills everything off? No, not necessarily. Because those products are so strong organically that we did not need as much advertising as we thought. Now let's go through the math of this. Let's go why, because I have had this question asked to me over and over again whenever I implement my strategies for capping the account, decreasing the budgets. People are like, Sean, what's going to happen to sales? Are we just going to keep BSR is going to go down, sales are going to go down. It's just going to keep going down, 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 down. Now let's look at it from a math standpoint. Let's say, so first off, let's start with some assumptions and some observations of the Amazon algorithm. So the two most important factors, ranking factors for the Amazon algorithm are the sales velocity history and the conversion rate history. Right? To rank for a keyword, you need to have more sales velocity history and a better conversion rate history than your competitors, right? So keeping that in mind, if your sales, let's say they're at 40 units a day and they go down to 33 units a day, will your rank go down? Yes. Will your BSR go down? Yes. Will you have more profit and profit margin? Maybe. You have to measure that using a tool. But keep in mind, the biggest thing to take away here is you're not going to keep going down. Because if you go from 40 units a day to 32 units a day, you might see a drop in organic rank and BSR. But what will happen is you'll settle at a specific rank in BSR for that amount of units per day. So you're not just going to tumble down into oblivion. You will settle, if you're doing X amount of units per day, you're going to settle at where Amazon puts you for that amount of units per day. And it might not even affect you as negatively because you might be selling more units at a lower conversion rate, whereas you might sell less units at a higher conversion rate, which could potentially, aid in keeping some of that, organic rank. So I've been asked this over and over, and I have explained it over and over again. And I'm running studies on this. And in the past 60 days, I tested this on a new account. And guess what? In December, we saw sales go up when we capped the account and optimized the budgets by decreasing the poor performing budgets. Why? Because we had enough organic rank to keep us afloat. And so we didn't necessarily need to spend more on advertising. And guess what happened to our profit margins? Not only did sales go up, but profit and profit margin went up as well. Now, I know this was during the high season, the Q4, and we did benefit from that traffic, but we were able to take home way more profit than if we were to overspend on advertising. So let me go back to the questions here really quick. So does it affect the ranking of product? Yes, right? It will. And then he says, if yes, it won't be long-term because we'll lose our ranking and it'll be coming down every day. You might see, you might not. Like when we capped it, we actually saw sales go up. So, but you might see sales go down, but you have to test it to see whether or not your profit and profit margin goes up. So keep in mind sales. You notice profit and profit margin are not mentioned anywhere here, which is okay. But I just want to point out that it's really important to be managing, tracking profit and profit margin after you make adjustments. Because just because sales goes down is not necessarily a bad thing. Because sales might go down, but your net profit dollar value is higher than before and your margin's higher. And he says, and then Robert says, that's a problem with this approach. You need to keep monitoring ranks in BSR. We don't actually monitor rank in BSR when we make these changes. What do we monitor? We monitor total sales, units sold, profit and profit margin. Those are the four metrics, the main four metrics that we measure, because those are the most important core health indicators of the business. BSR rankings, we don't necessarily worry as much about that because for us, it's more important to monitor those metrics. You might be making more margin than short term, but it might kill 3 to 6 months of your rankings and organic sales. I mean, I guess so far, honestly, from a quantitative standpoint, and I measure, when I make adjustments, I measure the outcomes very meticulously. And at this point, we see that, the outcome at this point is net positive, meaning that our profit and profit margins are better. We're not seeing any detrimental effects at all. Actually, the accounts that I apply these methods for are very happy because they're making more profit and profit margin. Now, so yeah, that is my answer to this question. I think the reason I wanted to make a whole YouTube video about it, it's not a long one, but the reason I wanted to make one is because it's something I've been asked over and over again, and people get really nervous about dialing back ads. And it's something the thing is, when you're really worried about dialing back ads, you prevent yourself from saving yourself money and potentially having better profit and profit margins. And like I saw with one of my brands, we actually saw an increase in sales after we capped the account because of our organic traffic was so strong that we didn't necessarily need to spend on those ads. And, I work with what I call bottom of funnel Amazon businesses that want to be really profitable. Now, not at the expense of sales, but, for too long, and I don't know if everyone does, but a lot of people only focus on sales. And the issue with that is that if you only focus on sales and you're not measuring profit and profit margin, then you don't know what you're truly receiving back from the advertising. All right. Hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your comments. Let me know what you think of what I had to say. And I hope it was helpful.